AEW All in Texas coming up in July. Tickets go on sale today, this on Monday. A lot of excitement, especially up. They had the on sale event, shall we say, there at Globe Life Field, the home of the Texas Rangers. Someone that was involved in that joins me now on the hotline. Not only is he a multiple time world champion, he is a fellow Army veteran and one of the baddest dudes in wrestling today. One of the newest members of the AEW roster representing the Hurt Syndicate. It is the almighty Bobby Lashley. Bobby, how are you, man?
We hurt people. I'm amazing. I'm amazing, man. It's a good time. It's a good time for me.
I imagine it is. I imagine it is. Before we get to the wrestling, as I said, you and I have something in common. We're both Army veterans. So I want to ask you, and I'm use a little military speak. What was your MOS, your job, and what's that one lesson that you learned during your Army service that you have carried forward most in your wrestling career?
Okay, so my job was I was 11 Bravo.
Okay,
that was infantry.
mm-hmm.
But when I went in, it was after I had graduated college. So I went to a program called WCAP, World Class Athlete Program. So I went to Fort Benning for my basic training in AIT, and then after that, I went out to Fort Carson, which is Colorado Springs, and I spent my time there training at the Olympic Training Center.
Okay, well that's so cool. I served in the 25th Infantry Division in Hawaii. As crazy as I was a Russian linguist, so it was so much fun. And of course, I went on exercise with a lot, the infantry battalions, and we would be the guys in the background doing all the military intelligence stuff. So it was so much fun. And from one vet to another, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Let me ask you, so you've been wrestling for 20 years. You've been in WWE, you've been in TNA, of course, now in AEW, all across the globe. What's the storyline that you have been involved in that you had the most fun with? That you got finished the night and just had a big old smile on your face?
Man, I try to stay away from favorites because just being in the wrestling business across the board, it's like you're living a dream every day. So how do you compare one dream to another? I can say that there was a lot of things that I did in wrestling that I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. The Battle of the Billionaires, that whole storyline, shaving Vince McMahon's head, that was incredible. Just to be able to learn from somebody like him that had such amazing mind in sports entertainment and in professional wrestling, and to be able to learn from him. That was just, the whole time was just crazy. And then have an opportunity to defend the president. We didn't know who was going to be the president at that time, but there was a lot of buzz with that, and probably one of the biggest matchups in WWE history. So that whole storyline was just incredible. But then also, if you go through it, I mean, there were so many other things that I did, like my time in Impact, just running in the World Championship and having an opportunity to just change characters and be something different. I think that was a great time for me also, because I had an opportunity to wrestle against some of the greatest wrestlers out there, from Jeff Hardy to Matt Hardy to Drew to Bobby Roode to Eric Young to just Eddie Edwards, Moose, all those guys, man. It was every night it was fun. Every night going out there was fun. But then, there's so many other people that I just had an opportunity to be with. When my last little run with the WWE, working with the Street Profits, those guys, my goodness, you talking about talented across the board that should get all the flowers right now. Montez Ford and Dawkins, man, those guys are incredible. I don't know why they don't have gold around their waist right now, but just when I had an opportunity to work with those guys, it was just fun. I mean, we had fun all the way across the board. If we would have had an opportunity to do more, it would have, of course, been a lot more enjoyable. But just with what we had a great time. And then ultimately, the most important, the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
I mean, having an opportunity to work with your friends like that, it was just probably, I don't want to use favorite, but it was up there as one of my favorites, if not on the top. Just working with the Hurt Business. Every night after we went from the shows, we would go and sit down at the local bar. We would always joke about having lemon pepper wings and just talking about the show and talk about things that we were going to do afterwards. It was a different kind of synergy that we had and we brought to the crowd. And I think the crowd understood it and they saw it. It wasn't just guys that were thrown together. It was guys that were generally friends and guys that can also work with each other. So that time was just fantastic. And then to have the opportunity to run it back now in AEW. It's just started, but man, it's been fun since we've just started it and we have a lot of good ideas and good plans that we have. And I think Tony's very receptive to it. So I think going forward, we're going to see what the Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate now can really do. So I'm excited about that.
And I was thinking, I mean, and you could tell watching on TV how much you were enjoying, each of those. But yes, it's especially Hurt Business, now Hurt Syndicate. I want to ask you, so Hurt Business, they had their shine in WWE for a while. Then it kind of stopped, but the fans kept clamoring for it. You heard constantly, bring back the Hurt Business, bring back the Hurt Business. And of course, now, like I said, you reformed in AEW. What does it mean to you to be a part of that and have such an impact on wrestling fans? They were clamoring for you constantly.
It's good, man. It's good. And I always say because it was real and everybody saw that. Everybody believed that. And we wanted to run it back. We wanted to keep it going. And like I said, Tony Khan gave us the opportunity. When we gave this to him, we said, hey, we have an opportunity to run this back and keep going. Like there was times for years after it was broken up, I would post something on social media and I would get one or two people saying, hey man, we want to see the Hurt Business. We want to see the Hurt Business. Everybody's been asking about it. So since everybody's asking about it, now we have an opportunity to do it. We gotta show out now. We gotta show people why they wanted it. And on the top of it, we want to tell the people that wanted to see it before and wanted to keep going. Hey, we're over at AEW. Come watch and see what we're gonna do. We have some big plans, and I'm excited about showing what we're capable of doing.
Well, and such a great trio with you and MVP and Shelton Benjamin. I mean, just a fantastic group there. Of course, Shelton Benjamin doing big things in the Continental Classic. What led you to sign with AEW when your deal with WWE was finished? I know you had like countless offers from everywhere. What led you to come to AEW?
I think it was just kind of I had a meeting with Tony Khan. I mean, in a meeting with him, and then I spoke to Edge also. I spoke to MVP, of course, and Sheldon. We all kind of talked about it. And when I talked to Edge, Edge really, really made some good points. And he just told me how much he loved it over there.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me. And then when I actually met Tony Khan, it was kind of like in the wrestling business, you got to say, he's telling me one thing. Do I really believe him?
Mm-hmm.
And so many people said, you know what? There's one thing about Tony is that if he says it, he means it. So he told us that he was going to give us the opportunity to come back with Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate now. And he said that he wanted us and he was excited about bringing us in. And I had to put my trust in him and faith in him. So he seemed genuine. So I was like, well, I'm going to give it an opportunity because at least we have an opportunity to run something back that we really wanted to continue on. So that was it for me, having the ability to run the Hurt Business and to keep going and to really end my career the right way. And I've been in this business for 20 years and I didn't want to go out on an injury. That was the wrong way to do it. I got injured in Spain before my contract was up with the WWE. And that was not the way that I wanted to end my career. I mean, in the wrestling business, you always pass it on to some other people. I built a lot of equity up in wrestling over the past 20 years. And to not be able to pass that on to somebody else is not right. That's what I wanted to do. And there's a lot of guys in AEW right now that I want to be able to work with. And I looked through the roster and I looked up different matchups that I can possibly have. And a lot of those matchups seemed very intriguing. So I thought it was a great opportunity. I thought this is where I should be right now in my career.
Yeah, I mean it's fantastic. It's great. It's a great addition to the AEW roster. As I mentioned this morning, you had the on sale event there at Globe Life Field in Arlington, just up I-35 from where I am here in the beautiful Austin, Texas. And you were at the podium, and Swerve Strickland comes up, to confront you. Of course, you guys had a hell of a match a couple weeks ago. Felt like maybe a little bit of there's some tension.
Jealousy.
This felt like a little mutual
Jealousy.
respect.
Jealousy.
Okay,
Is that
jealousy.
what you call it? You were
Just
just
tell
trying
me
to use a
about it.
different word.
All right. Tell me about it, though. Tell me what you were thinking when Swerve came up.
I think what happens is that we're going to ruffle a lot of feathers over in AEW because when we first come in there, we're just going to be beating people up and taking what we want. And I think a lot of people are going to get upset. Unfortunately, Swerve was just right there and he caught a bullet. That's what he got. I mean, because if you think about it, like when we came in, we gave him opportunity. And that's what we're trying to tell them as an AEW. When if he passes you a card, that is your golden ticket to success. He didn't understand that. He wanted to stay with Prasnana and he wanted to continue on in the path that he's been going. Well, the path that he's been on was losing matchups. He was on a losing streak before we came to him, and we wanted to change his whole life, and he didn't see it that way. And I think now, after being in a match with me at Full Gear and after me beating him up and pinning him, or actually I put him to sleep, after putting him to sleep, I think he's a little hurt. And I think he wasn't coming on podium to start a fight with me. I think that he was coming on the podium to kind of request another opportunity, which I understand. He wants another opportunity to be part of the Hurt, but we just don't know if we're going to give it to him. So, whatever he's trying to do, I told him, I said, hey, man, we're going to put an ad on Indeed and a couple of the other job sites, and you can apply and we'll look at your application to see if you have the ability to be on it. But right now, the answer is no. And if you want to get back in the ring with me, I would have beat you up again. But this time I'm going to send you on a little vacation. It's called a hospital or surgery, however you want to say it. But he doesn't want to mess with me. He's going to have to start back with someone else, build himself up a little bit so he gets a little bit more confidence, because I think that when we had the match, he didn't have all kind of confidence. I think he was a little doubting himself in there, because I felt like when I locked up the hurt lock on him, I can feel him almost like give up like right away. Mm-hmm. So I knew that he just took too big of a jump. That's what his problem was. And Swerve, I mean, I like the guy. He's phenomenal. He's an incredible wrestler, but I think he just needs to kind of take his time to find somebody else on the roster to go after, build himself up, get a little bit more confidence, and then come see me.
Sounds like a challenge. Sounds like maybe see it run it back again. All in Texas, come to Globe Life Field 7 months from now, almost 7 months to the day from now, on July 12th. You've been a part of so many stadium events, WrestleMania, SummerSlams, you name it. How much are you looking forward to being a part of this major event of All In and be there in Globe Life Field in front of possibly 40, 50,000 fans?
I'm super excited. I'm super excited because I've never been to that stadium before. Today was the first time. And when I went inside there, I was like, wow, we have some work to do. Because that's what I want to do. I want to be able to fill that stadium up. That's what'll show the progression, and that's what'll show how much AEW has grown. We want to go out there and sell that stadium out. So that's what I'm most excited about. I want to be able to main event at home, because now I live in Dallas, so it's right down the street. So I want to be able to main event at home, and I want to be able to sell that stadium out. That'll let me know that we're doing what we need to do here in AEW as a Hurt Syndicate and as an addition to the AEW roster.
Well, and I had a chance to talk to Tony Khan just a bit ago, and and we both talked about how passionate the fans are in Texas, especially in the Metroplex. The legacy of world class, and of course now, AEW showing up so much in the Metroplex. You guys are going to be in Austin in February. Looking forward to that, and it'll be All In's going to be a fantastic event there at Globe Life Field, the home of the Texas Rangers. He is the almighty Bobby Lashley from the Hurt Syndicate. Again, AEW, All In Texas. Tickets on sale now, AEWTIX.com. Bobby, I appreciate the time, man. Enjoy the travels, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.